Welcome to this week's episode of UCA Scoreboard for the Echo Online. I'm your host, Abigail Hodson, and joining me today is Spencer Griffin and Michael Deere. Guys, last weekend, Brad Teague announced the new hiring of Coach Russ Pennell as the new men's basketball coach. What do you guys think of this hire?
I think it's a great hire. I think his last two hires with Steve Campbell and now Pennell coming in as the basketball coach, I think Brad Teague did a great job. Pennell comes with overall a great resume. I like that he's been at the big schools and he's come from the WNBA, so he's had almost any and everything you can think of. I think that coming back to UCA, since he was a player at UCA, I think is the biggest get for Brad Teague here. He's getting someone that really does care. He knows the ins and outs of this campus. He knows what this program can be like because he played here with Scottie Pippen. So I think with this hire, he's really going deep and he's going to try and bring UCA out of this hole for men's basketball.
Yeah, I think from a coaching standpoint, this is a good hire, and I like what you said. I didn't think about that before, but playing at UCA gives him more of an appreciation and more of a caring aspect for this program rather than it just being another coaching job for him, and I like that about it. However, the timing of hiring this coach and announcing it, I think, was just awful. I think you need to wait. You could have waited a few days until UCA got done playing its last game, but you waited right when they went on the road, and they still had 2 games left. So now it's kind of a weird trip for UCA. You know, it almost makes you think they're bound to play horrible now. They know their coach is going to be gone, and they really have no more motivation. But surprisingly, they actually played well. But still, I think the timing could have been a little bit better. But for this coach, I think you're right. Being at these big schools and these big conferences, you know, Pac-10 when it was the Pac-10, and he also coached for the SEC and then the WNBA. It's pretty impressive for him to be all over the place, all over the map, coaching-wise. And I'm sure he can get a little bit of experience out of each one of those coaching jobs and out of each one of those assistant coaching jobs, interim head coach, and even the WNBA. I think he can offer a lot to UCA and a lot that a lot of people can't really offer.
Which one of Pennell's credentials do you guys think is going to help the team the most, and why?
Obviously, the Arizona coaching job was probably the most impressive considering they went to the Sweet 16, but I'm going to have to go with his entire stint with Grand Canyon. I think that was extremely impressive the way they started a pretty mediocre basketball program. First year, he went 16-16, 10-6 in the conference, and then you skip to, in his 4th year, went 23-8 and 14-4 in the conference. I think that's outstanding, and that's the exact kind of improvement that UCA needs, a steady improvement, not just, you can't expect a big turnaround, but even if you do, not just 1 year, one big turnaround, and the next year a big drop-off.
Right.
You want to build this program to have it be strong for years to come, and a steady growth like he brings, or like he brought to Grand Canyon is exactly what UCA needs, and he basically turned that program into a Division I program where now they're playing in the WAC. So it's pretty impressive what he did there. Even though it was a D2 school, I think it's extremely impressive, his body of work at Grand Canyon.
Yeah, that is impressive to be able to take over a school that's in the transition, which UCA just went through. For him to do that at a small school, coming from an Arizona where he took over for legendary coach Lute Olson and took them to Sweet 16, that's great to see that, one, he can pick up mid-season, late in the season, and take a team to the big dance and take care of business and win 2 games, get to Sweet 16, taking over a team and their transition, which is basically what he's going to have to do here at UCA now. He's going to have to take over a team that's down the dumps, and he's going to have to completely rehaul this entire men's basketball program and turn it into his child, his own baby, and make it awesome. Overall, I think the credential that he's bringing that's going to help UCA the most is recruiting. He's a tireless recruiter. He's been known for his recruiting days at Ole Miss when he stole several players from the state of Arkansas that played at Ole Miss. He put the border around Mississippi, and he kept the in-state talent in Ole Miss. And then as press conference this past week, he mentioned that he's going to have 8 recruits coming in already for visits, and he said they're from all over the nation. So from his time at Arizona, he spent 16 years. He has the recruiting base there, the recruiting base in Mississippi and Arkansas. I think overall UCA's big win here is recruiting.
Yeah, I think all his different coaching jobs have really expanded his horizon for recruiting and for UCA now that he's here.
Well, thank you guys for joining me today. I'm really excited to see and hear what happens from the UCA men's basketball team the next few seasons. That's going to do it for this week's episode of UCA Scoreboard for the Echo Online.